Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And here we are again. I have another requested review from a subscriber, Tinhead92, and he has asked me to review the film Fright Night. Now, I'm assuming he is talking about the original Fright Night film, and I'm sure he is. Uh, so let's get right into it. Fright Night was released on August 2nd, 1985. This is another vampire horror film that received positive reviews from critics. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave it 3 out of 4 stars. It has a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb, a 92% on both Rotten Tomatoes and Google. This movie had a budget between $7 to $9.25 million, and it brought in $24.5 million at the box office. And it was written and directed by Tom Holland. It has since become a cult classic, and it spawned a sequel. And then in 2011, we got a remake and a sequel as well. The movie stars Chris Sarandon, William Ragsdale, Amanda Bierce, Ronnie McDowell. We have trying to remember his name. Stephen Jeffries, there he is, and Jonathan Stark. And this movie is about a new neighbor who moves in across from Charlie Brewster by the name of Jerry Dandridge. And Charlie suspects that there's something strange going on in his house and tries to get his girlfriend and his friend to believe him that he's responsible for these missing women. And he actually believes that he's a vampire, that Jerry Dandridge is a vampire. His girlfriend, played by Amanda Bierce, Amy, and his friend, Evil Ed, played by Stephen Jeffries, have a hard time believing him. And so he enlists the help of Rodney McDowell's character, Peter Vincent, who actually plays a vampire slayer on TV, and tries to get him to go over to the house, and so he can prove that he is in fact a vampire. And that's what this movie is about. This is another great example of a great 80s horror film. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The 1980s has the best decade for movies, music, and TV. Hands down. There's no other decade that's going to come close to beating what the 1980s has done. And horror movies are just another example of how great they are, and the use of practical effects is so much better than the CGI stuff that we get now. Even though if it's done right, CGI can be really great, but the majority of the time they overdo it and it just burns you out. Practical effects are the way to go. And this is another example of another great vampire film. This one is in my top 10 as well. I love the character of Jerry Dandridge. One hell of a villain. He has a sidekick in here called, his name is Billy. He is played by Jonathan Stark. And he's also a great side character. And of course, Evil Ed has the greatest line in this movie. After Charlie and Amy get into a fight, Amy smashes some food in his face, and Ed comes out and says, "You're so cool, Brewster." That is one of the greatest lines and funniest lines in any movie, and it's delivered just perfect. And yeah, I love this movie. And the third act of this film is phenomenal. I'm not going to get into it because, again, I don't like spoiling movies or anything. But this is another movie I highly recommend you check out if you haven't seen it. And there are a lot of great movies in the 1980s that if you haven't seen, check them out. I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. Now, the sequel to this movie wasn't as good, but it was definitely better. I would say it's a little bit better than the remake we got. Although I do appreciate the remake, um, it wasn't as good. I don't think as the sequel to this original movie was, but that's just me. But as far as the rating goes for this film, you know what it's getting. It's getting a 10 out of 10. This is a perfect film. It's phenomenal. And this movie was also nominated for 5 Saturn Awards, and it won 3. One for Best Screenplay, for Best Movie, and for Best Supporting Actor for Roddy McDowall. And I really think Chris Sarandon deserved some recognition for his performance. I think he should have got some recognition at the Golden Globes and Oscars. Of course, the Oscars is biased towards horror films. There's only been a few occasions where one's even been nominated, and actually one was The Silence of the Lambs, and it's disgraceful. There are so many great horror movies out there that should have been at least nominated, and they just get the shaft all the time. But as I said, I'll give Fright Night 1985 a 10 out of 10 and 2 thumbs up. And in the comment section below, if you've seen it, give me your thoughts and opinions. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And if you like this review, hit that like button. But I thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for my final subscriber movie requested review, and that is From Dusk Till Dawn. Thanks again for watching,